It can only be this man.
Travel the world like this is the most amazing experience ever. You are trouble from now. Yeah, okay, Diva, put your cape on. Yeah, that's fine. Wonder Woman. Strong man, they're very confident, doesn't say too much. You haven't said anything.
And he's here now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Really, it's so nice. Just watching, seeing how you know I'm having the opportunity to do so many diverse things. It's unbelievable. It's a great part of my life.
Well,
now.
it's lovely to have you part of the team. That was such fun for us when you said yes, you would do it. And,
okay, who would say no? Why don't we just put it that way, as if I'm going to say no to this.
So who have you met so far?
Well, obviously, I wanted to see you again because I haven't seen you for a while.
Ages.
For a long
Yeah, it's
time.
been a long time.
Always loved seeing you. I had the opportunity of going to the TV. Yeah, that was true. That was the truth. TV Choice and TV Quick Awards. Had the pleasure of actually interviewing Ant and Dec, which for me, you know, being the first time that it was on the other side of the carpet, fantastic. Met a lot of people. I mean. Deal or No Deal. Deal or No Deal.
Noel Edmonds?
Noel Edmonds.
Yes.
Loved it. Torval and Dean, I met Torval, and that was huge for me. Patsy
We'd like to meet them, wouldn't we?
We would. Could you arrange it?
Well, I'll check my diary and see if my assistant can know. You know, of course, I mean, it was just...
Who's coming up? Who have you got? You got one next week?
Yes, I have. I'm going to have my first proper interview with Shakira.
Great.
Which I'm looking forward to. So I'm going to do all my little research. I know enough about, but I want to make sure I know everything there is to know.
So you're still having a crazy, crazy time at the moment. It seems that this kind of press attention over you and Katie just will not go away. How's things been the last couple of weeks?
Well, yes, it is. A lot of things do get made up, and I've always had this saying that don't believe headlines, because headlines you can discard. When your kids grow up, you can say, oh, that wasn't true, that wasn't true. But the problem is pictures say everything, and this is what you've got to try and avoid. And there was one picture, unfortunately, the other day. It was just a mock-up that one of the newspapers did of a 5-year-old picture of me, and they put on it, "Come and get me October the 22nd," like as if the day after the official divorce, I'm going to, you know... And I know it was just done in tongue-in-cheek, but the problem is that some people do believe things like that, and they're the things I don't like. But all headlines and that, you just got to just take it with a pinch of salt.
So are you getting constant texts saying, come back to me?
OK, you know, I'm going to tell the truth here. One thing that's important is because I never actually brought that up until something was said before. You'll notice me, I retaliate if something's said. If something's not said, I won't say anything. Yes, I was getting texts. There was a group of us in the room. There was someone from the media that was there as well. There was a group of us. We were all having a good night. I was getting these texts from nowhere. Everyone's looking. Everyone's going, what? And if that wasn't enough, the voice messages were coming in too. So I knew it was going to come out. I knew someone was going to say something about it. And do you know what? Why would I need to lie about something like that? I don't want to come on here and say something bad about her or bad about anything. It's just that was something.
Well,
that
you've
happened.
said before that you know that the last thing you would ever do is to leave something on tape or on on the internet or whatever, something that your kids would read later on. So you've been very noble, you've been very dignified and very gracious.
And I'm not perfect, and there are times where I'm going to stumble and I'm going to probably retaliate on things I shouldn't retaliate on. But I am human, and you can only take so much, and then you kind of think, you know. But in general, that's just a part I try not to think about all the time. I've got beautiful kids, I'm working a lot, honestly.
Last night, I mean, Katie was on TV again on another show, and she was talking about the fact that, I mean, she's kind of got this thing about you having a new girlfriend, and last night she said she saw you kissing somebody else.
Well, honestly. Okay.
Yeah.
Who do I look in the eye to...
Look me in the eye.
Let me just explain something, right? First of all, there is going to come a point I will meet someone. It hasn't happened yet. But it's a very clever thing. That's a very clever thing that she's done, because it means whoever I end up with in the future, she's going to say, ah, see, I told you. You know, in that way, you might think you can't win, but it's just a silly little game. There's no point going tit for tat. At the end of the day...
Have you kissed anyone?
Well, just a little...
on the cheek,
Holly?
I might point out.
Do you know, it's really weird because yesterday I have this nanny that's just started, and I dropped the children off at the house, and I got a sneaky... It was the day before yesterday, and I got a sneaky hug with Harvey, which no one knew about, but I got it. And this must be the girl they're talking about, but apparently she was blonde and all this, but this girl's actually from Asia. So
it's interesting where support comes from, isn't it? Because I know that you've said yourself, and I assume you've said this because we can never be absolutely sure, that when you were all sort of buffed up, you had your great muscle tone and all that sort of stuff, that blokes gave you a hard time.
Yeah, they
and actually,
me. No, they did.
Did they?
Ah.
So what sort of support are you getting from blokes now then?
Well, something happened the other day at Asda, of all places. I went there.
You just never know, eh?
You just never know what happens at Asda.
Doing shopping.
Honestly, this guy, big builder bloke, he had tattoos all over him. He's walking over to the car with a bit of an attitude, and I thought, oh, OK, he's going to be smart. I haven't had anyone be smart yet, like, in that way, but I thought, OK, something's going to happen. But I wound down my window, I said, how are you, mate? I swear to you, he looked at me, shook my hand, and he just burst into tears. And
You're very brave to wound the window.
I know, I was going to say, I
didn't know my foot down.
I said, what's wrong? And he said, I haven't seen my son in 6 years. And he goes, I watched your show the other night, and I know you said something. He said you said something about Harvey. He didn't actually tell me what it was I said, but he said, I've been a bit uncontrollable since, right? And I thought something must have hit a nerve with this man, right? This is the kind of thing where I don't know where the public support, how amazing it's been, but I think there must be some nerve touching somewhere. But I'm not... this whole St. Peter's and devils and all this, it's just media, you know, talk. Well, it's not what anyone's asking.
The lyrics on the album, some of the songs and the lyrics on the album are terribly personal, aren't they?
Yes. It's like writing a diary or writing a letter or writing in an autobiography where sometimes you explain it in the letter.
Well, the album is here, and I know it's something you've talked about here before. You're very, very proud of it, you know, sort of made in LA.
I am, yes, I am.
And you're performing Call Me a Doctor later on, which
we're going to do it live acoustically.
You recorded that back in November.
Yeah,
and some of the lyrics, it kind of makes you think, maybe things weren't quite right a long time ago between you and Katie. That's
a very interesting point, and I'll explain why. Because there's some songs on this album that were songs of resolve. Songs where, if things had carried on being good in the future, I would have said, yes, we went through a really bad time. This is how I felt at that time. But Call the Doctor was always the iffy song because Call the Doctor was a song of no resolve. So it's actually more relevant now than it was then.
You must feel like you can never get away from it, though, because now you've got this album, which is all songs kind of reflecting back on that time in your life. You must be thinking, why didn't I write some nice upbeat songs so I can actually...
I did. There's 3 of them on there, but you're right. But I think for the first time I'm actually doing something that's lyrical-based rather than melody-based, because melody-based songs are so disposable. I mean, I'm proof of that. I've had songs that are just, they're throwaway. But I want to start doing stuff that...
Got to number 4, though, isn't it?
I know, I was going to say, don't do that about Material Girl. Yeah. We love that.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, but Insania was... Yeah, you need to forgive me for that. I've asked a lot of people to forgive me for that one. Mysterious Girl, I can understand, it's a classic. It is a classic. It is. Insania, you know, but...
Look at you there. Look at the Andre.
Oh, yes, the old days,
eh?
The old days.
But you're looking great now, Pete.
I actually feel a lot better now than I think I did then, because I'm not so obsessed about the whole food side of things.
Yeah.
I feel slim.
In a good place.
But you know, there's bigger. I always say there's so many bigger problems in the world than our little problem. It's nothing. It's just.
Well, staying on stage, staying upright is one of the things.
Yes.
So when you perform later on, you're not going to fall...
No,
actually, we haven't put you high, so you can't fall off anything.
There's a step there, but we put the instruments on the step.
I still tried to, in rehearsal, just don't.
So it was at, what was the event?
T4, thank you.
T4,
yes.
And you fell off, you didn't actually come right off the stage, though, did you?
Oh, yes, I did.
You styled it out, though, Pete.
There were women with high heels, 8-inch heels on, dancing. They didn't fall off the stage. I had flat shoes. I know I'm clumsy, but only me. Only me.
It's easy done.
But you know what it does? It humbles you. It makes you go, don't ever get cocky about this. It could be over tomorrow.
Well,
we've
been very, very safe, and we're going to sit you on the stool.
I'm glued on.
It's lovely to see you. Thank you very much.
Always lovely to see you too.
So we'll look forward to the song, the end of the show.
Yes, thank you very much.
And we'll look forward to your interview with Shakira next week.
Yes.